guys, my name is Geeta and I am the Pottymouth guru. Cue music.
Potty, she talking naughty. Here to help your trouble, she don't judge nobody. Even if you're not at your top and it's a lie, she try to make you see a different train of thought.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a therapist and a transformational life coach, and I'm here to help you learn how to unfuck yourself. So last week we talked about ants. What the fuck are they and how the fuck to deal with them? Because that is some complicated ass shit. It is. It's hard stuff. These thoughts that we have, these automatic negative thoughts, they're neural pathways, and that is dug in stuff. So it is difficult to unpack this. But fear not, I have ways and things for you to do to help you with this process. So enjoy the video. What to do about our ants, or how to nuke those ants straight the fuck out the water. So recognizing our ants might be hard because we've had them all of our lives and they're so automatic that we don't even notice them. Like 6,200 thoughts a day. We don't fucking notice every thought that we have. But the first way to start killing our ants is to create an anteater, says Dr. Amen, and here's how to do it. So first things first, we have to start with recognizing and becoming aware of our ants. So the first thing you're going to do is bust out that journal and you are going to start keeping a thought record. So this thought record is a 3-parter. Number 1, the situation. 2, the moods. And 3, the thought or image that automatically pops into your mind. The next part of this process is to figure out the who, where, what, when that is causing this anxiety. Who are you with? Where were you? What were you doing? And when was it? So what was your mood during this situation? So let's just say, for example, you're handing in a project to school or to work. So what you want to do is examine your mood in this situation. What kind of feelings came up? So you were irritated, you were nervous, you were guilty because maybe you're handing in the assignment late. So the next step is to rate your feelings out of 100. So say, for example, your nervousness, which is actually anxiety, maybe that rates as an 80 out of 100, which means that the irritation and the guilt is 20%. So it doesn't have to be like fucking perfect. It's just about getting a basic idea and about tracking it. We're looking for trends. So how much your thoughts are influenced by specific moods. Here is the most important step of them all. You want to track exactly what thoughts and images popped into your mind. So for example, I'm so dumb. I'm never gonna get it right. Nobody likes me. I'm gonna end up alone, which is very extreme for an assignment. But who knows, man? Like, I got some fucked up shit that pops up for like the littlest things. So it could be anything. Next, you want to look at why are you afraid? Have you fucked up a project before? How is this different? And the key is to actually look for an answer rather than just surrendering to the fear and saying, I don't know, and throwing your hands up. So what you're going to do is you're going to play out the worst case scenario. And how do you feel about it? And you're going to break down your emotions. And the reason you're going to break down your emotions is because you're going to see if your ants even have a fucking leg to stand on. So identifying these ants is the first step of gaining control of our minds and taking our power back from those pesky little fuckface ants. How to change? So after you've identified your thoughts and done a little bit of digging, you're gonna put those little fucking ants on trial. You're gonna figure out if there is any evidence that supports this thought. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. If this evidence is based on the past, how does it apply now? And the key is to focus on credible evidence, not just your thoughts and your feelings about it, because that's where the fucking issue is. Then you focus on the evidence that doesn't support that thought or feeling. So the thought is, I'ma fuck it up. The credible evidence is, I've made mistakes before. I'm not a strong presenter. I've never done this kind of a project or project this big. Then you're gonna look at the credible evidence against that shitty thought. So my boss or my teacher came to an agreement in advance about the timeline when it was gonna be handed in, even if it was gonna be late. I have practiced this presentation many times and gotten good feedback from coworkers, friends, family, whatever. I know this topic well, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to do really well with answering questions. Now it's time to find an alternative thought. So because you have evidence from both sides, you get to be the judge. And a little tip here is just imagine that this thought belongs to somebody else and not yourself, so you can create some distance. Now you can find an alternative thought that's more balanced and more kind, that will allow your wiser mind to run the show for a little while. So for example, I've made mistakes in the past, but in general, I do really well. I'm a super hard worker. I've gotten really awesome feedback and everything's been decided in terms of the timeline. So ultimately, this is a really awesome CBT technique that can help us gain more control of our minds. So it's taking a thought, understanding shit about it, and then reframing it, and then practicing those thoughts in order to counter the shitty things that might be happening. And ultimately, this is to help us for when our anxiety pops up to say, oh, hello, anxiety. What do we need in order to function together today? Some things to remember. Small steps, guys, baby steps. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit of time. This is a brand new thing. It's gonna be hard to remember when shitty things are popping up, and then, getting into that place where we're able to smash the ants away and being like, no, I will not let you take over. It's gonna take a little bit of time. So be gentle with yourselves and take small steps, baby steps with all of this. Just keep going, just keep showing up for yourself. Something to remember, don't force positive thoughts, okay? This isn't about feeling like a big bag of dicks and being like, everything's fine, everything's gonna be fine. Sometimes you're gonna feel like shit, and it's okay to just go with it sometimes. Like, what we resist persists. So surrendering for a minute and being like, okay, I feel really shitty and scared about it, acknowledging it, and then starting that process is what we want. It's not about being fakely positive, because there's some fucking toxic shit around that too, which is a whole next video. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you're still gonna feel like a bag of dicks. And it's about forgiving yourself for that and getting back in the ring and showing back up for yourself. Ask yourself questions. Is this true? Does this thought serve me? Is there another explanation or way of looking at this situation? What advice would I give my friend about this who's having this thought? Or better yet, what would I say to my child or to a child about this thought? Because oftentimes it's our inner child that is having this issue. And let's not re-abuse ourselves. Let's be there for ourselves in a way that maybe people weren't there for us when we were growing up. So be kind to yourselves with all this shit. We all have an inner child that lives inside of us, and the way that we can reparent is about disciplining ourselves. And a lot of people think about the word discipline in a negative way. I sure did. I'm my inner rebel, But really what I mean by discipline is doing a little bit of a little tap when we think something negative, be like, you know what? That's not true. That's not true, girl, because you are fucking worth it. You deserve these things, right? So it's about reframing ourselves and disciplining our inner child to not think these things that don't fucking serve us in the long run. Another couple things that are going to help you with this, I'm going to say this in every single video, meditation. Meditation is an awesome way to practice of how to smash our negative thoughts, because we can take this process straight into meditation. So if we're doing a silent meditation, a negative thought will pop up and we can have an opportunity to explore that negative thought, to follow the yellow brick road and be like, okay, why am I having this negative thought? Where does this negative thought come from? What can I replace this? How can I reframe this? This can happen inside of a meditation. So I really encourage you guys to try. It might be messy at first and fucking weird and confusing, but that's okay. Just follow the yellow brick road and see what comes up. Another thing to do is gratitude work. So when we feel like a bag of dicks and maybe we have racing thoughts and it's making us feel really anxious or panicky, to sit down and write down what we're grateful for in that moment can be a really great way to snap ourselves out of that racing ant hill that we're on. So something that people ask me is, okay, I have these negative thoughts, but at what point do I want to seek help? Ultimately, we want to seek help with our ants if they are significantly impacting our life. So in closing, guys, find kindness and compassion for yourself, because those ants are actually really abusive. This is self-abuse. This is a continuation of a narrative that was taught to us that 100% doesn't belong to us. And one of the ways we can show up for ourselves and be there for ourselves and truly love ourselves is to unpack these ants and take our power back. We can do this, and I have full 100% faith that you can do this. I have been working on this for fuck knows how long, and it's challenging but very rewarding process. And you just keep doing it. You keep getting back on the horse. You keep interrupting those thought patterns, and you can create new neural pathways that will become habits that will ultimately become your nature. You are not stuck in this way of thinking. You don't have to live like this. It's just about practicing, just like any other skill set that's out there, whether you're learning how to swim or you're learning fucking math or whatever it is. You have power to learn. So take your power back, guys. Learn how to beat up those ants. I want to hear from you guys now. I want to know, what are your negative thoughts? What do you struggle with? What has worked for you with beating your ants? Tell me in the comments section below. I really want to know. And again, if you like this video, you smash that motherfucking like button and you subscribe to my channel. Hit that little bell thingy so you get notifications every time I put out a video. I'm going to have all sorts of tips and tricks and techniques for you to learn how to unfuck yourself. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and share it with somebody you think might find this information helpful. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. So with all the fucks given, I bid you adieu and have an awesome week.